What if I told you some truck engines make more power than supercars? These are the monsters that move mountains, pull 100-ton loads, and never flinch. From roaring V8s to silent torque kings, these are the 12 most powerful truck engines ever made. Number 12, Paccar MX-13 DFXG Plus 530. Let's start with the calm professional of the trucking world, the Paccar MX-13. At 530 horsepower, it's not here to break records. It's here to break mileage goals. This 12.9-liter engine is the reason DF drivers are so smug about fuel economy, while everyone else is crying at the pump. Unlike some of its loud, smoky cousins, the MX-13 hums politely, does its job, and asks for little more than clean diesel and a good night's rest. It's a -6 engine built to survive Europe's brutal emissions and taxation rules, and it does it with monk-like discipline. Think of it as the accountant of truck engines, precise, quiet, and annoyingly reliable. You won't find it drag racing Scania V8s, but you'll definitely find it still running after they've blown a turbo or two. The MX-13 may not be the flashiest in the fleet, but when it comes to uptime, it's the one still cashing paychecks long after the big guys have gone to the workshop spa. Before number 11, hit subscribe if you love raw diesel power. Now, let's fire up the next beast. Number 11, Iveco Cursor 13 570. Now, if the Paccar was the accountant, the Iveco Cursor 13 is the Italian sports car wearing work boots. It's smaller, just 12.9 liters, but still punches out 570 horsepower and 2,500 Newton meters of torque. It's proof that European engineering can balance efficiency with attitude. The Cursor 13 loves climbing. Whether it's hauling freight through the Swiss Alps or pulling tankers across Spain, it feels lively, almost eager. It's lighter than many rivals, giving drivers better payload flexibility and fuel economy without losing muscle. And while some engines grunt, this one sings, that distinct Iveco growl that sounds like a V8 after too much espresso. Drivers joke that it's the only truck engine that makes you want to double downshifts just to hear it roar again. Sure, it's not as iconic as a Scania or Volvo, but the Cursor 13 holds its ground by doing more with less. It's an engine that doesn't need to shout to be noticed. It just flashes a grin, revs up, and gets the job done. Number 10, Volvo D16 750. Before Volvo unveiled the mighty D17, there was this monster, the D16 750. With 750 horsepower and 3,550 Newton meters of torque, it was the muscle truck engine everyone feared to park next to. It powered the FH16, and for years, it was the undisputed king of torque in Europe. This wasn't an engine, it was an event. When you hit the throttle, you could feel the chassis twist, the turbo scream, and your coffee cup tremble. It pulled 60 tons uphill like it was towing shopping bags, and somehow, it managed to do it without ever feeling strained. Drivers loved it for its reliability and character. It was smooth, confident, and absolutely unstoppable on long timber hauls or Arctic runs. Even when newer engines came along, the D16K refused to fade quietly. In fact, many veteran truckers still call it the golden era of Volvo power. Because before the D17 rewrote the rulebook, the D16K was already showing the world what real heavy-duty muscle sounded like. Number 9, Detroit Diesel DD16. If trucking engines had personalities, the Detroit DD16 would be the calm, quiet genius in the corner, the one who gets straight AS and never brags about it. This 15.6-liter inline-six delivers up to 600 horsepower and 2,050 lb-ft of torque, wrapped in the smoothest power band ever to come out of North America. It's the heart of Freightliner's heavy haulers, known for running forever if you just treat it right. Fleet managers love it because it's efficient, predictable, and doesn't throw tantrums. You could say it's the anti-drama engine. No smoke, no fuss, just steady, relentless pull. And here's the thing, it doesn't just move freight, it does it elegantly. The DD16 idles like it's sipping diesel through a straw, then pulls 80,000 pounds without breaking a sweat. It's not loud, it's not flashy, but when it passes, you can practically hear it whisper, "Torque wins races." In a world full of roaring V8s and angry turbos, the DD16 proves sophistication still moves steel. Number 8, Scania DC13 540. Scania's DC13 is like that lean, athletic cousin who embarrasses the big bodybuilders at family reunions. At just 12.7 liters, it makes 540 horsepower and 2,700 Newton meters of torque and still beats heavier engines in efficiency and pull. It's living proof that smart engineering can outmuscle brute force. The secret is Scania's advanced fuel system and clever turbocharging. This engine wakes up early, runs all day, and never complains. It's become a fleet favorite across Europe because it simply refuses to quit rain, snow, or 50-ton loads. It just keeps going. It's not the loud, chest-beating V8 Scania is famous for, but it has its own loyal fan club. Drivers praise its quiet confidence, silky throttle response, and the way it climbs hills without gulping fuel like an oil rig. The DC13 is the strong, silent type, not here for the spotlight, but everyone knows it's the one doing the heavy lifting behind the scenes. Number 7. Cummins X15 Performance Series. If engines were superheroes, the Cummins X15 would be Captain America, tough, loyal, and unreasonably strong for its size. This 15-liter Legend cranks out up to 605 horsepower and a bone-crushing 2,050 lb-ft of torque. It doesn't just haul, it dominates. The X15 isn't about flashy marketing, it's about reputation. You'll find it in everything from Peterbilts to Kenworths, racking up 1,000,000 miles while barely breaking a sweat. Truckers love it because it's simple, predictable, and designed by people who clearly hate breakdowns as much as drivers do. It also has that signature Cummins roar, not obnoxious, but powerful enough to make you grin when you roll through the gears. And despite its strength, it's refined and emissions-ready, proving old-school muscle can still survive in a modern world. The X15 is that rare mix of brute force and brains, the perfect blend of American grit and modern efficiency. It's not just an engine, it's a legacy on wheels. Number 6. Mercedes-Benz OM473 Actros 625. You can always count on the Germans to engineer power that feels effortless. The Mercedes OM473 is a 15.6-liter inline-six that makes 625 horsepower and 3,000 newton-meters of torque, but it delivers it so smoothly, you'd think it was electric. This engine doesn't roar. It purrs, then casually drags 40 tons across Europe like it's on cruise control. Inside the Actros, this engine feels like a bank vault on wheels, solid, quiet, and unshakably confident. Mercedes focused on precision rather than theatrics. Everything about the OM473 screams refinement, smart turbocharging, impeccable fuel injection, and a reliability record that makes accountants weep with joy. It's not here to show off, it's here to redefine what premium trucking means. While others flex horsepower, the OM473 flexes longevity and serenity. It's the kind of engine that whispers, "Efficiency is power," then glides up an alpine pass without spilling your coffee. If trucking had a luxury class, this would be first-class seating with a torque upgrade. Number 5. Caterpillar C16 King Cat. The legend, the Caterpillar C16. The name alone makes diesel fans stand up a little straighter. This 15.8-liter brute put out around 600 to 625 horsepower and 2,050 lb-ft of torque, and it did it with that unmistakable cat growl. For decades, this was the king of the road in North America and Australia. Truckers loved it because it could take punishment. Overheating? Keep rolling. Long grades? It laughs. 1,000,000 miles? Barely broken in. It was the mechanical definition of overkill, and we loved it for that. When Cat pulled out of the highway engine game, it felt like the end of an era. But even today, you'll find C16s still hauling loads with engines rebuilt more times than some drivers' marriages. It's loud, it's old school, and it doesn't care about emissions. But if you ever wanted to hear what raw diesel dominance sounds like, it's the C16 at full song, the soundtrack of trucking's golden age. Number 4. MAN D3876 TGX 640. Germany's other powerhouse, MAN's D3876, is what happens when you mix discipline with danger. This 15.2-liter inline-six makes 640 horsepower and up to 3,000 newton-meters of torque, yet somehow manages to weigh less than many 13-liter engines. It's all about intelligent engineering wrapped in serious muscle. The D3876 powers MAN's TGX 640, one of the most capable long-haul machines in Europe. It's built to climb the Alps, cross continents, and still make its driver feel like they're piloting a luxury sedan. Smooth, responsive, and brutally efficient, that's MAN's style. It's also one of the cleanest engines in its class, proving that power and environmental responsibility can coexist without tears. Mechanics love it for its accessibility and long service intervals, and drivers love it because it just never quits. The D3876 isn't a show-off. It's a professional, the kind that clocks in early, works overtime, and still beats everyone to the finish line. Number 3. Mack MP10 Titan and Superliner. Australia doesn't do light duty, and the Mack MP10 is living proof. This 16.1-liter beast pushes up to 685 horsepower and around 2,300 lb-ft of torque. It was built for the kind of roads that make other trucks cry: outback highways, mine hauls, and 100-ton road trains that never see a cloud. The MP10 has a presence. When it idles, it sounds like thunder rehearsing. When it pulls, it feels like the Earth's rotation just slowed down a little. It's an engine that doesn't care about comfort or conversation. It's here to work, and it does that better than almost anyone. Truckers love it because it's brutally dependable. No fancy electronics trying to tell it what to do, just raw power with a hint of mechanical stubbornness. It's as Aussie as truck engines get: loud, loyal, and built to survive things that should probably void the warranty. This is torque with an accent, and it'll haul your whole fleet if you let it. Number 2. Scania DC16 V8 770. When you hear that deep, rolling rumble of a Scania V8, you feel it in your chest. The DC16 770 isn't just an engine, it's a symphony of mechanical aggression. With 770 horsepower and 3,700 Nm of torque, this 16.4-liter monster was the world's most powerful truck engine until Volvo showed up with their D17. It's built for prestige as much as performance. Every driver dreams of sitting behind that V8 badge, knowing they've got the baddest sound in trucking. It doesn't whine or whisper, it bellows proudly, like a lion that just ate an entire fleet of Volvos for lunch. What's amazing is that it's not just noise and numbers. It's reliable, refined, and surprisingly efficient for its size. The DC16 770 is both art and engineering, thunder and precision. Scania V8s have always been emotional machines, and this one is the crown jewel. It doesn't just haul loads, it hauls legends. Number 1. Volvo D17 FH16 780. And at the top of the mountain sits the new king, Volvo's D17. With 780 horsepower and 3,800 Nm of torque, it's officially the most powerful production truck engine on Earth. Built to pull 70-ton combinations like they're bicycles, this 17.3-liter inline-six redefines the word overkill. It's not loud, it's not flashy, but when it moves, everything else just feels slow. Volvo engineered this engine with precision bordering on arrogance, stronger pistons, improved turbos, and fuel efficiency that embarrasses smaller engines. It's raw muscle wrapped in Scandinavian calm. Drivers say it feels effortless, like towing air. You can pull 60 tons up a mountain and still sip your coffee without a tremor. It's that smooth. The D17 didn't just take the crown, it reshaped the throne. It's the future of heavy-haul power, massive, clean, unstoppable. The kind of engine that doesn't need to prove itself, because everyone already knows who's boss. And there you have it, 12 engines that define pure power. Which one would you trust to pull your rig across the world? Drop your pick in the comments, hit subscribe, and keep those engines roaring till the next ride.